Decent use of CGI that actually looks so decent that I genuinely thought for a moment there that they had managed to create one of the most smoothest hand-drawn animations I've seen to date. Wow, I've never seen that before. For kicking the dog, I'm removing a sin here. Don't hurt animals, real or bloody otherwise.
今晩は食事抜きだ。ディオが来てからお前を甘やかしていたのを悟った。親として恥ずかしい。ディオの作法は完璧だぞ。
Actually feeling sorry for JoJo, as sadly I too have known people like this where you can never do anything right without being compared to someone else. For the anime actually making me feel stuff and remember things, I'll give an easy 2 wins. I like the fact that after he sexually assaulted her, she actually did this, cleaning her mouth straight away because she was so disgusted by what he did to her. It was also likely to try and purify her lips for JoJo once again. Hats off to her. Take 5 wins for being a surprisingly cool character this early on in my book. Whoa, I'm getting super strong Super Saiyan vibes coming from this scene, and I very much like the manliness factor getting turned up to 11. Holy shit for JoJo finally getting in some good hits, because I must say I was starting to lose my temper seeing poor old JoJo getting bullied so horrifically like this, and then worse, not even being able to land a single hit against him in a fight. I didn't expect this at all. Wow, go ahead and take another 3 wins for the continuation of awesome hits.
目を覚ましてからしばらくしてダニーが死んだことを思い出し泣いた
Killing the dog equals 2 wins removed, especially for how it was done. Goddamn, I love animals so much that it affects me writing these bloody videos. This CD which contains interesting Aztec connections, and I enjoyed how they ended up using the blood to connect everyone from the story, which I've read a little bit about in terms of the time jumps. All in all, other than the dog issues, I thought it was a good first episode and so deserving of 3 wins, which also includes a win for the ED. An intro which makes fantastic use of its visuals with really compelling visuals, some use of decent looking CGI in most cases, a very strange but oddly good song, and a fantastic comic book effect that dazzles the eyes. As usual, this will earn the anime 5 wins.
Dio, 学園の新聞に君たちの友情について書くけど話してくれないか友情だと綺麗事を並べてニコニコするなよなクズどもが
I'm very confused but oddly very interested at the same time. What an odd combination.
Dio, 君の7年間の考えが分かった僕らには最初から友情など存在しなかったそして父にはもう近づかん
Whilst I'm not a huge fan of the artwork, one standout feature of this anime most definitely has to be the very convincing work of the voice actors. So far, everyone that's been introduced has had a very decent voice actor in my honest opinion. Yeah baby, now this is what I'm talking about. Finally going to get some more JoJo kicking ass action, and it doesn't matter how much of Dio's ass is kicked, it will never be enough for me after the last episode. This whole scene is pretty damn awesome, showing off for the first time the power of the mask in a really great way. Now this here is a brilliant scene, containing outstanding voice acting from characters really having to belt out a few lines, awesome visuals of Dio getting his blood drained, and finally with the sun destroying what I can only assume is a vampire.
これは父さん
Once again, awesome looking effects and a shock murder of JoJo's father earns the anime 2 easy wins.
悪くないぞ、ジョジョ。息子の腕の中で死んでいくというの。
Wow, this death scene was handled really nicely. I mean, I'm not the world's biggest fan of the father, and him making up a seamlessly never-ending amount of excuses for Dio, up to and including, I treated him so well, and you so poorly, that perhaps that's what made him want to kill me. But overall, the scene was still handled really nicely between a great soundtrack and once again some awesome visuals.
俺は自分が困るとすぐ泣き抜かすアマちゃんは大嫌いだがよ。この親子は違う。自分たちのしたことを後悔しない。 最高の大アマちゃんだぜ。
For a criminal, this dude is saying some insanely nice stuff about JoJo that's pretty much nicer compliments than anything anyone has ever given me. Bless his heart.
ディオ、止まれ。ディオ
For the bloody scene that just happened. Not the British bloody hell kind, but literal blood, which I can't show because of YouTube censorship, and for the first reveal of Dio as an annoyingly decent looking vampire son of a bitch. Well, this will sound random, but that was some insanely real looking blood for an anime. Although the scene loses a few points in my book for having characters looking like they're falling so far it could be from the top of a skyscraper and still not be tall enough to finish their internal monologues, I still very much like this, and how JoJo saved himself from the flames here was excellent. Now that was very awesome. JoJo being extremely manly in the face of adversity gets the anime a win. JoJo and the girl actually caring about the well-being of a toad equals a win, because I'm always on board with anime who showcase some love towards animals both big and small. I always think it's a good message for younger people, to be honest. Well, that's a bloody fear coming right out of the horror books for me. The idea that this, I'm guessing we're agreeing at this point in time that they're vampires, dives into the sea to continue after him. That's horrible.
時間がない。ジョジョ、波紋呼吸法の仕上げは実践でやるぞ。
はい。戦いの覚悟はできています。俺もだぜ。
I have to say, I'm really loving how this guy who was a violent criminal has just utterly turned his life around and seemingly is devoting it to helping and protecting JoJo, the man who we first met by attempting to kill him in London. Not only is it a nice twist, but it's also kind of heartwarming for me to see how well he treats JoJo, who ironically never really experienced much affection from his father during his later life. My word, this could so easily be a scene from Mob Psycho 100. The way it's animated and the visual cues and effects which pop up on screen to accentuate what's happening and what moves they're performing. Even the voice actors' tones are pretty close to Mob Psycho 100. The point of all of this is that I love that show a lot, and so it's always nice to see that particular style, as I must admit I don't get to see it all that often. Well now, wasn't that the height of f***ing awesomeness? So far, this episode has had a great start, with there being some team building, witnessing a bright and colourful new town with a brief history lesson on it. We've also had some funny moments where they crossed the lake, and now the mood has changed to become more serious in quite an expert fashion with the grand return of Dio. All in all, I think this deserves 3 wins for 3 great minutes. This was such a badass moment, but for all the wrong reasons, since Dio has now become a lot more powerful than ever before, and much more so than these two even fighting together and combining their power. This for me at least stood out as quite a great moment of the episode. This happens. But no, seriously, it's cool to actually see Speedwagon being able to help the group out in some way, considering he's not quite as gifted as the other two in combat and special abilities.
今は昔、1565年頃、王位継承を争った2人の女王がいた。一人は女王エリザベス1世。
The fact that the anime takes the time to pause the action and actually give us a brief history lesson to keep us in the loop is very much appreciated by this dumbass.
意外、それは髪の毛。しまっ。
This whole battle with some great music in the background, awesome moves and visuals, and a storyline which is really starting to pump me up now has to get an easy 2 wins here. I've got to straight up admit that this scene right here was really badass. It was one of those moments where I just didn't know what JoJo could actually do to get out of the rock and a hard place situation he was in. But then gaining one breath down there and being able to use his ability was just insane.
やはり拳で接触して直接太陽の波紋を送り込まねば。
So before now, I hadn't really thought about this anime style and how good it looked. If I'm being honest, at first I didn't like it much. However, as I left the screen open on my desktop and did some other things, I saw this image. And it was only after seeing the shading and strong contours of his hands and face that I realised that the anime is actually really nicely detailed.
鋼を伝わる波紋疾走メタルシルバーオーバードライブ。うまい。
Haha, now that little block and attack was awesome.
あの顔はさっきまでの怒りと憎しみに歪んだ顔ではない。母親と会話する息子のように安らいでいる顔だ。
I love this sentence so much.
こんな素晴らしい男に、こんな温かい人間に最後の最後に出会えたから、我が女王のもとへ旅だと。
It might sound silly, but I actually genuinely found this scene to be quite sad. I'm not entirely sure why, but the art style and voice acting definitely helped make me feel this way. I know that much.
亡者どもが町へいた時のことを考えるんだ。あのでっかい兄ちゃんが死んじまったら町が襲われる。
Wow, what an awesome kid. From his backstory to his bravery issues, and then finally coming to the rescue despite being injured in a fantastic fashion.
私には追い求めているものがあるのです。それを放っておくことはできません。
These snow and light effects together are next level considering this anime aired in 2012. I must admit that I didn't think it would go down like this. Seeing him go out in such a way is horrible.
ジョジョ、私の生命エネルギーすべてを捧げたぞ。
許さん、ダルカス。
JoJo turns up the manliness factor to 1000!
今のお前はさあ、早く行け。わしは自分の運命に満足し、わしは最後に自分。
さよなら、ゼペリさん。
Genuinely a saddening moment for me. I never thought I'd feel like this about a character I've only known for a few episodes on an anime I've just started, but the feels are real here, so I'm going to top the wins up to 85 in his memory.
このディオがお気に召さんのなら、彼に相手してもらうといい。バイ、マドモアゼ。
Another great example of mixing CGI with hand-drawn animations to great effect.
おお、強い。
Okay, I'm just going to straight up say that JoJo is fucking awesome, to be honest.
ディオ、僕の気持ちを聞かせてやる。紳士として恥ずべきことだが、正直なところ、今のジョナサン・ジョースターは恨みを晴らすためにディオ、貴様を殺すのだ。
I love it!
来い、ジョジョ。
Okay, so I'm going to quickly explain something here. When I first started this series, I was very unimpressed with the animation. Drop the pitchforks, let me finish. However, having now watched a few episodes, I can happily state that it's more than grown on me. I can see that there's great attention to detail with the square faces looking more human-like than any other anime I can think of. For this, I'll show my appreciation with 5 wins. Now that was fucking awesome, albeit brief.
そこの青ちょびた連中をよこすなよ。次から次へとキリがないわい。これでは助けに行けない。
I've really got to hand it to them. They've come up with some fantastic voice actors who've been performing their roles with true professionalism. They just seem to each fit the character they're portraying expertly.
今わかるぞディオ。よっしゃー。止められたか。
For this scene giving us outstanding voice acting, tremendous visual effects, and for being overall totally badass, I'll give 5 wins.
ヒーローだぜ。無理もねえ。たった一晩に何人も死んでいる戦いをしてきたんだ。見てるかい、ゼペリのおっさん。やったぞ。
For a brilliant end to a brilliant episode.
捜査中、関係すると思われる目撃情報は1件。4人のよそ者が
The fact that the animators took the time to write out the first part of a newspaper, all in very well written English to fit the narrative of the story and where it's taking place.
乗っちゃったよ。もうすぐ出港だもん。
何？どこだ？どこだ？
The fact that previously, this man who tried to kill JoJo is now this good a friend of theirs. His excellent reaction to having almost missed seeing them off, and finally for the voice actor's awesome portrayal of the character. I'm also adding another win here for the continuation of world building, because sometimes it can be tiring to see the same characters interact in the exact same locations time and time again. An obvious exception that comes to mind is of course Steins Gate, which before you comment has already been sent. But my point here is that only 9 episodes in and we've seen lots of different locations one after another. Doing this keeps it fresh and adds a level of realism that ends up making it stick in your head as a great anime long after you finished it.
俺はいつまでも応援するし、困った時はいつでもどんなところでも駆けつけるつもりだぜ。もっとも帰って足手まといかな。
That's impossible, dude. You'd never be in the way in my eyes.
これが僕の命。
Damn you, anime, for making me care so much about JoJo already.
ワンチェンを食ってしまえ。そしてピストンを再稼働させろ。
爆発が始まる。
It's nice to see that one of Dio's evil plans didn't actually go according to plan, otherwise it would start to become a little predictable. Oh man, he really was a bloody hero right till the very last second. This is genuinely incredibly sad for me to see.
死んでいる。
R.I.P. JoJo. R.I.P.
参ったな。エリナばあちゃんに叱られるぜ。なんてやつだ。警官をこんな目に遭わせた。
I'm liking this guy a lot already.
今のはハモン。
Wow, that was such an awesome scene. Clearly an awesome kid. Oh my fucking word, I can't believe they just killed off Speedwagon. I feel genuinely sad. Oh.
そして血が上着ではなくてシャツについているということは、上着を脱いで喧嘩してきたということ。
This scene showing off JoJo's excellent deduction skills.
いくら真実とはいえ、そんな最悪の情報をエリナおばあちゃんにいきなり聞かせたのは許せねえ。 怯えさせて悲しませちまったじゃねえか。
I've got to say, it was quite shocking to see JoJo react in such a way like this. It must be one of the first times I've seen something like that in an action anime. You know, someone actually caring so much about their family that I'd even want to just protect her from knowing the truth about Speedwagon. I thought that was really nice actually, showing off his gentle side.
あんた以前どっかで会ったことないかな。
Now that was absolutely brilliant and highly unexpected.
嫌えぶっかわすかだ。
Wow, for a young guy, this JoJo is an absolute badass. I love this scene. Although I will say I'm very confused about how the use of mirrors made it look as though JoJo had a hole in his neck and head after that attack.
破る策はさっき思いついた。カモン。
Jesus fucking Christ, dude, that was absolutely brilliant. I think it's great how the first JoJo was a man of nothing but honour and pure strength, both physically and of principle. Cut to his grandson, and JoJo, whilst being physically strong, has a short fuse, but has incredible intellect and strategy. It's just awesome how they gave these two very different characteristics, I think.
リオダダ川で重傷で発見された老人の意識が回復しました。遺跡の場所を聞き出せます。
For keeping Speedwagon alive, I must simply add 5 wins here, baby.
だがドイツ軍の奴らにどんな目に遭わされていることやら救い出してやる。そして一刻も早くエリナばあちゃんの笑顔を見るんだ。
That's some genuinely heartwarming stuff.
手を挙げろ！ちょっとでも動いたら撃つぞ！え？どうして？いきなりなんなの？
Okay, now that was both unexpected and absolutely hilarious. Oh wow, now this is a really sick but awesome way of displaying this new foe's unknown abilities to us, the viewer, and it was done so well in this instance.
構わん殺せ！部下の体ごと撃って撃ちまくら！
Gotta give some love to them actually using accurate German weapons from the World War II era. A fantastic end to a fantastic episode.
Happy Urepi Yoropikune! Happy Urepi Yoropikune! Santano-san, さあご一緒に
JoJo being JoJo.
俺の拳がある
I'm giving 4 wins for that. That was great.
この取り込む時を待っていたのよ。完璧だぜ。くらえハモン。
Alrighty, I have to give 5 wins for that little trick, and my goodness, what a thing of beauty it was with the special effects and such vivid looking colours. That was bloody brilliant, the entire scene. The end of the episode is getting 3 wins, not just because of the great voice acting and the awesome finale to this Ultra Vampire, but also because once again the anime is doing some great world building. We've now been told that the next stage of the journey will take JoJo to Rome, and again I'm reminded of what I said earlier on in this video about loving how the anime takes place in so many different locations, always keeping it fresh.
もう一度言うぜ。てめえは鳩にさえ勝てねえのさ。やれやれ。
Here I'm going to add a few wins, and it's because it's Speedwagon and the grandsons of both the original JoJo and Zeppeli, and to me that's worth 3 big fat wins.
悪く普通の人々と同じに家族を愛し恋人を愛し
They always manage to do such a fine job of sending off characters in style and trying their very best to ensure the viewer feels something of their passing. We didn't know this character long, but his interactions with the others made us feel even the tiniest bit sorry for him, and that's a big deal, again considering how long he was in the anime for.
他に波紋の仲間はいないようです。
行くぞ。
I love JoJo. Moments like this just speak to his awesome and funny character so much. Even when things look incredibly dire, he's still there to make us laugh and hopefully pull off something great.
しかもその変形のスピードはサンタナ以上だ。
クラッカーはかすりもせずに吹っ飛んでいく始末。
I must admit, I do like how this anime often mixes things up, because up until now these kinds of special moves have been met with victory for the good guys. However, now both special moves have been smashed away by the insane power of these new bad guys on the scene. So basically I'll give a win here for them making it not so obvious as to how this fight was going to go down. See, mixed it up yet again with JoJo landing a huge hit on the bad guy when I honestly thought he was going to get knocked out and that would be the end of the battle for the time being.
覚悟してもらうぞ。
This entire fucking scene had me laughing so damn hard it's insane. I just adore the fact that he keeps laying down and pretending to be dead and yet is moving further and further away each time. It's so funny.
とは言っても俺も絶対絶命。またなんか策を考えなくちゃな。
Limited and decent usage of CGI.
リングの中には毒薬が入っている。手術で取り出すことはできない。無理に取り出そうとすれば殻はあっという間に破れ、毒は流れ出す。
This was such an awesome and clever idea to ensure that JoJo must train to beat him. Very nice indeed.
一流の賭博師さながらの心理戦のブラフ。見事だった。波紋の修行に付き合うぜ。
And thus, an awesome and great pairing for the anime was born.
だから水が爆発したんだ。しかし、俺はこの指の先、一点からだけ波紋を放出したのだ。一点集中。
A bit of a random time for me to mention it, but I'm going to give a win here for the music in the background. It's very different from the normal music, and I think it nicely fits the scene.
ベネチアってのは観光都市じゃねえのか？こんなところに波紋の先生なんているのか？
Yet again another location on this epic journey. I love how they keep showing us new places and always try to make it seem realistic.
リサリサと呼ばれている。本名、その生い立ち、家庭、なぜ波紋の道に入ったのかは誰も知らない。壁寸前で油の弾ける勢いを利用して夢の上へジャンプ。
Wow, a fucking insanely awesome finish to the climb that was.
10秒後、ジョジョ、離すなよを13回言った後、盗聴に成功。
Now that was a nice touch.
俺の作戦としてはちょいと残酷趣味だが、師範代と協力してあげたダメージ1ってとこか。エシゲシ。
Now that, in spite of its gore, was absolutely bloody beautiful. What a great scene.
このエシデシのモードからいつまで逃げ回れるかな。
I guess it would be a crying shame to not give 5 wins for the entire awesome battle between these two great foes. It pulls out excellent music, artwork, and consistently surprising strategies and secret attacks, and it's led by 2 fantastic voice actors' work.
師範代、あんたのしごきに対して礼を言うぜ。グラッチェ、ロギンズ。
A great end to the battle, showcasing JoJo's continued rise to the top in terms of raw power and high intellect. Kind of, having once again beaten another insanely powerful foe. This battle was a joy to watch overall, and I think it all went down in a brilliant and great fashion.
30分待てって言うんなら仕方ねえぜ。30分待つのはリサリサの部屋のドアの前で待つのがベストです。
My word, this voice actor is absolutely perfect for JoJo's character.
もし郵便物がベネチアから列車に乗せられたら、ここは観光地。世界のどこへ送られたかわからなくなります。
I'm going to give 5 wins here for the crazy amount of detail that went into creating short scenes like this where we get a view of the city. In my experience, it's insanely rare for these shots to end up looking this good, so I can only imagine how much effort must have gone into this.
ジョジョ！本当にぶっ飛ばすわ！ちくしゃー！殴れねえ！
Once again, very indicative of JoJo's character to try and pull off such a bluff and then make it so damn funny when he doesn't follow through. Honestly, I think at this point in time I actually prefer this character to all of the others. I just love his style. Saving the dog equals 2 wins.
この頃ドイツ軍はヨーロッパ各地を次第に占領しつつあった。彼らの悩みはその支配力が永遠に続くかどうかであった。
Demonstrating in a good amount of detail what was actually happening at that point in time in Europe and being accurate.
これは機械。お前はシュトロハイム。
Okay, now this revelation is straight up fucking awesome. I can't believe that they not only kept this character alive, but then they went as far as to cyborg his ass up to make his survival realistic within the confines of the anime. I always liked his character ever since he worked alongside JoJo to destroy the first Pillar Man, so I'm really pleased he's still alive. This here is easily worth 5 wins in my honest opinion.
落下しているつららを波紋で接着。ロープ代わりに。しかし落下しているのだ。足りるはずがない。
It's really excellent for us to finally get to see Caesar and JoJo start to actually work together. Is it me, or was this actually an incredibly subtle way of letting us the viewer know that this guy places importance on living things? Firstly, we see it with the dog, where he went out of his way to ensure it would be safe, and now he's done the same with the flower. If this is in fact true, then it's a brilliant storytelling trick that I love, because it's not so obvious and in your face. Very cool.
もうすぐ届くよ。もっともっと伸びして。かかったな。
And this gets 2 wins removed. Don't be a dick to animals, bro.
どうも意地悪かったな、今の俺。俺としたことが。
Same on here as Anime Sin's corresponding episode. I'll add back 1 win from just now for acknowledging that he was being a numpty to the poor kitty. Finally getting the chance to find out more about Caesar's background. A great character whom up until now hasn't had very much time in the limelight. A sad story as well, all the same.
その水蒸気がスーツとなって太陽光線を屈折させ体を光から守っているんだ。
This is a really clever way of allowing for a fight to take place during the day, and also I love how it's properly explained so it makes sense to a dumbass like me.
あった！ホテルの中へ逃しはせる！シャボンカッター！フライデー！
When we get to see Caesar in top form taking on a foe that was previously so out of his league, I feel like I just have to add a couple of wins.
シャボンラッチャー！
聞かぬと言ったろ！
This battle is really utilising some incredible looking visuals. I swear the animators seem to get better and better as the series went on by my standards.
レンズだ外の日光ホテル内へ
Caesar finishing off this great battle with yet again some more brilliant looking visuals and awesome voice acting from the pair of them.
やめろ。
I've got to give mad props to the guy for how he dealt with Caesar being in such bad shape at the end. Say what you want about him, but he does have pride in not wanting to shame him after the fight he put up against him.
まさかシーザーが
シーザ
For yet another incredibly sad end to a great character, I'm going to award 10 wins. R.I.P. Caesar.
俺にとって強い戦士こそ真理。勇者こそ友であり尊敬する者。俺はお前のことを永遠に記憶の片隅に留めておくであろう。シーザー。
See, this is what I was saying before about him showing respect to Caesar. I just have to add a final 5 wins for this scene and how he dealt with the death. It was really respectful to the very end. My god, the end of that episode cut me to the very bone. I'm not ashamed to admit that tears flowed freely as I saw the reaction of JoJo and Lisa to the death of their beloved Caesar. The music in the background fit his Italian heritage and personal tastes, the animation itself was on top form, and the voice actors truly managed to portray the utter devastation that the two felt at the loss of their comrade. For how the final part of this episode was handled, I'm adding an additional 10 wins, and please keep in mind, I don't do this often, but only when an anime really hits and affects me. I loved this moment. I think the voice actor had a tough job but managed to pull it off in an epic fashion in terms of making it legitimately sound as though you're burning alive. On top of that, the animation made it look just as good. Finally, it's nice to see another step up the ladder of Hamon power when we see Senpai Lisa do some funky move and easily beat this powerful vampire. So, 3 wins here in total.
リサリサ、あんたがその時まで代わりに持っててくれねえかい。
I could well be wrong, but if I'm not, this was a really cool way of giving us a hint into the future relationship between these two. Animators taking the time to make this look legitimately like 100 soldiers rather than just a copy and paste job of one over and over again. I mean, you can see subtle colour differences and different types of helmets and armour present among them. I like it when the effort is made for things like this that would likely just go unnoticed.
なんか俺、昨日までは自分のことだけ考えて生きてきた。でも、今メラメラと湧き上ってくるこの気持ちは。
The mixture of the music, the sight of Caesar's place of death, and now the carrying of an ally away from the castle all makes for a huge amount of character progression. On top of this, JoJo then goes on to search through his feelings and validate them to us the viewer, so we know without a doubt how all of this has affected him. He did indeed begin as someone who cared little for others, even to some degree Speedwagon and his grandmother, purely in terms of how he dealt with potentially lethal scenarios that they were involved in, like the plane crash with Speedwagon for example. I love it when an anime is able to push character progression within a relatively short amount of time by using simple expressions like a grimace at Caesar's grave. I'll give 5 wins here, I think.
なんでリサリサがこんな写真を？お？なんだこっちの写真は？
Drawing this so well that it actually looks like an old photo. Limited and very decent use of CGI.
ざりで態度や物腰は全然可愛くないと思ったけど。あ、サングラスの隙間に小じわみっけ。一緒に戦ってくれ、シーザー。
This is yet another great moment, further cementing the idea that Caesar meant a lot to JoJo, and him using his headband is a lovely visual symbol to demonstrate this to us the viewer. In short, it's a really nice way of remembering his friend who gave his life to help save JoJo's life, by getting the ring back for him before his death. I think this deserves a further 5 wins to be honest, as I didn't think they'd be able to make me feel sadness for Caesar just as I did for his grandfather when he died protecting Joseph. JoJo once again being up against it in terms of the odds of the situation going in his favour and using his street sense kind of intelligence to outwit his opponent and gain the upper hand. I love seeing stuff like this go down, and it's great that he's so different from his grandfather in this scene as it gives us 2 entirely different main kinds of heroes. For 2012, this is some sick-ass usage of CGI that actually really improves the scene in a big bloody way. I'm sure that would have been really difficult for them to animate using hand-drawn techniques, so for them to use CGI and make it look just as good is an awesome improvement for me. This beautiful and smooth animation deserves mad props for how good it looks.
またまたやらせていただきました。
上綱嵐を正面からまともに食らったのに。
Once again, another situation that makes you feel like there's no possible way that the good guys could get the upper hand, and once again they managed to trick us and excite the hell out of me personally.
わけを言おう。それはワムーが真の格闘者だからだよ。
It might seem like a small detail, but them actually animating the dude's arm to move whilst he's resting his hand on it and talking is a big deal. They didn't have to do that, but they chose the route that once again looks more realistic overall.
傷口は溶け始めていた。両腕の破門傷もさらに悪化した。もう上綱嵐は封じられたのだ。
This is absolutely fucking brilliant. Not only is it extremely well thought out and animated and voiced, but it's just insanely entertaining for a battle to go on like this where you're never sure what's actually about to happen next. Wow. Just wow. Never did I think they would be able to make me feel something even slightly similar for the death of this great warrior when compared to Caesar's death. It's not obviously on the same level, but I felt for this guy at the very end, how he went out with true honour just like he allowed Caesar to do. I'm giving straight up 5 wins here for the anime giving me a bad case of the feels. Oh my word, and then they go and pull this. The ultimate reward for JoJo having treated him as a fellow warrior and with honour to the very end, where this previous enemy actually goes on to defend JoJo against his own kind. Absolutely brilliant and well worth 2 wins.
お前に出会うために1万数千年もさまよってたのかもしれん。さらばだ、ジョジョ。
Between the action of the drinking of the antidote at the behest of the fallen warrior, his fantastic voice acting to the very end, and the soulful music to accompany what is actually a very sad scene, and giving 3 last wins in honour of this ancient and proud vampire.
どんな手を使おうが最終的に勝てばよかろうなのだ
Well, I guess my whole marriage prediction didn't really pan out in the end, did it? R.I.P. Sensei.
このシュトローハイムとドイツ軍精鋭部隊が相手だ我らスピードワゴンガイアン特別化学戦闘隊もいるぞ
This is seriously so fucking awesome. Never been so happy to see my boy Speedwagon.
そういうのなただのやけくそというのだ
I adore moments like this, where the show gets its use of CGI absolutely bang on and then uses that to create some wildly vivid looking and entertaining scenes. Here we see his blades look amazing and smooth during his attacks, which admittedly likely wouldn't have looked as good if they were hand drawn. This amazing backing music to this dude. It's got such a cool track.
エリナおばあちゃんは聞かないでほしいと言ったけど、でも理由が知りたい。実の親子なのに隠してるなんて悲しすぎるよ。
Okay, so I guess I was very much wrong when I saw the ring and thought this was a precursor to what may occur later on. So yeah, since she's his fucking mother and everything, I guess I'll point out a wedding is now unlikely to happen. So just go ahead and giggle to yourselves. This whole flashback sequence is expertly told to help us relive one of the anime's characters' lives who had previously gone almost entirely unmentioned. Instead, now we get a few minutes of sheer past joy which builds upon JoJo's father and then his mother, their lives and their tragedy. I think 5 wins are needed here for how well it was put together to weave the threads of the timeline from history to the present day.
息が止まるまでだとどういうことだ逃げるんだよ
Oh my god, I don't think I've laughed so long in forever. That was just absolutely unbelievably funny. Not only did I genuinely think there was some plan involved, but then the voice actor just carried the line perfectly. Take 3 wins for that.
おい、ジョジョ、余計なことはするな。逃げることだけを考えろ。いや、奴を倒すのは今しかねえぜ。ダメだ。自分一人で何かをするなんてことを考えるな。
I'm going to give 5 wins here for the Speedwagon and how he acted during this scene. It was like a mixture of a doting and caring father but also an amazing friend, chosen by his own will to look out for JoJo as much as possible. The voice actor did an awesome job of conveying not just concern but genuine panic at a time where he couldn't come up with any other plan to dissuade him. I think this was done beautifully, to be honest, and was just a great character building scene for Speedwagon in my eyes. Absolutely brilliant. I can't think of any way that this moment could have gone down any better. They managed to, in my eyes of course, raise the stakes over and over again and shock us with how the episode's long battle would go over and over. Take 3 wins for this.
エリナおばあちゃん、一度だけおじいちゃんのことを話してくれたっけ。エリナおばあちゃんを救うために宿敵ディオと共に大西洋に散ったって。
Yet another really touching memory that truly shows JoJo's love for his grandmother and how she's cared for him over the years. It was really sweet, actually.
これはこの飛行機は貴様の棺桶。
Oh my fucking word, they just made it even better, and then once again there's that epic von Stroheim badass music filled to the very brim of absolute badassery. You sir are just straight up bloody awesome. take a final 5 wins for this episode for that epic and badass landing by von Stroheim and the killing of the greatest foe mankind has ever known. I cannot now wait to watch the final episode. I fucking love how they took the time to actually show us a detailed explanation of not only how Carr survived the heat, but then also gave us a pretty awesome looking visual demonstration of what saved his life.
だから彼らは地底に住んだ。太陽はなくとも他の動物や植物のエネルギーを吸い取ることによって
And some even had fine looking butts and boobs.
そして死にたいと思っても死ねないので、そのうちカーズは考えるのをやめた。
A really awesome and fitting end to an insanely powerful creature, whom in the end was beaten by a mere human, but one that was intelligent in incredibly inventive ways and who had honour to the very end, unlike his cheating foe. I think this is highly deserving of 5 wins for the entire lead up to this moment and the moment itself.
おいこら何者だ貴様。おバカ者場所をわきまえろ場所。バカ者だとあんた。
This entire scene was an absolute joy to watch, with JoJo returning with that classic carefree attitude and light humour he's so well known for. I was smiling pretty much the entire way through, up to and including him having a little fight with a couple of dudes who didn't know he was in fact the not dead JoJo. For this lovely surprise, I'm giving yet another 5 wins, and for how well it was done from start to finish.
ロバート E.O. スピードワゴンは石油王財団設立者としてさらにアメリカの経済界医学界を発展させたが1952年心臓発作で死去。
Oh man, this genuinely affected me. These past 26 episodes with him have meant a lot. He's been through so much and it just feels so odd to know that he finally passed away at age 89. I know this is just an anime and everything, but my god, making me feel sad like this is a gift that should not go unrewarded. For this, I'm adding 10 wins, and in memory of the amazing character Speedwagon, I'm adding another 5 as well. RIP old man. You'll be missed by this YouTuber.
ルドルフ・フォン・シュトルハイムは徐々に再会することなく1943年のスターリングラード戦線で誇り高きドイツ軍人として名誉の戦死を遂げる。
I know this dude was a Nazi and everything, and many of you in the comments on my various videos have said that you love him regardless, and I'm very much the same in this regard. I thought he was a brilliant character, and it's genuinely sad to see that he died as well, and much earlier than everyone else. Even worse was that he never got a chance to see JoJo again due to the war, but I'm sure if they did, they'd have shared some great moments together and had a beer. For him, I'm adding 10 wins. I'm going to add a final 5 wins here for how they finished up the series, going through everyone's journey, some of which would end and others which would continue onwards. They also did some great foreshadowing of future events coming in the next anime. Thanks so much for watching everyone, and if you enjoyed, please be sure to hit the like button and leave a comment. You can also share the video too on social media, and if you're not subscribed, hit that button and the bell icon to ensure you never miss a new video. Nathan Burr, Bird Without a Word, Arias Alibari, Aidan White, PK Fan, Ali 50, Anthony Robb, Isael Caldera, Arman Jasuja, Chris Harris, Jonas Stahl, Manolo Saucedo Munoz, Luis Hernandez, May, Yuki Ali, Manuel Morales, Dark Lord Bloody Soul, Sentimento, Silva, Master Tank, Boogie, MD McVeigh, Aurora, Kevin Nauta, Stefia, Joel Rosenfeld, Brendan Kriya, Gustavo Gomez Canero, Storm 970, Hugo D'Eliatro, Mr. Waffles 64, Theodore Quackens, Kaj Vorzelman, Jordan Samuels, Gabby Z, Humye, Crimson Shadows.